Alright, today I'm going to show you how to plant a ball and burlap tree. So basically, it's a very simple process, but a lot of people make some little tiny mistakes that really cause the tree harm, if not kill it. So the first thing I want to show you how to do is how to actually transport a tree like this. But before I get into that, we're going to plant a ball and burlap tree. This is actually this is a natural burlap, so it's not treated at all. So this will decompose very, very quickly. There's also treated burlaps that are treated so they don't decompose near as fast, but they still decompose. So any kind of a natural burlap, whether it's natural untreated or natural treated, can go into the hole and really doesn't have to be removed at all. There are also poly burlaps that are designed to never rot, so that the tree can be left on a sales lot a long time. And those really have to, you want to loosen them up around the top for sure, and then take a knife like this and then just make some vertical cuts 3 or 4 places around the ball to make sure that the burlap is loosened up and the trees can get out. Now if you have a tree that happens to be growing in a container, like a plastic pot, you're going to slip it out of the pot, and you're probably going to see where the roots have circled the inside of that pot and are growing in a circular motion. You want to break that pattern, so take those roots and loosen them up so that so they're going to start growing outward. Now, if the roots are so massed, in such a mass that you can't pull them out, then take your knife and cut vertically from the top of that root ball to the bottom in at least 4 spots, and you're actually going to cut some roots, and especially the big ones. You may even have to take a pair of pruning shears and get in there and cut some of those big roots, because you want to break that pattern of the roots growing in a circle. And every root that you cut is going to force the tree to put out more fibrous roots and grow outward away from the tree and establish itself in its new home. So that's really important if the tree is at all root bound. This tree is ball and burlap, so when we dug this tree, we severed a bunch of roots. So that's actually going to force this tree to put on a lot of new root growth right away. So the other thing I want to show you is how to move a tree around like this without killing yourself. I have in my hand a piece of burlap identical to the ones on the tree. We use these as a sling in the nursery business. You may not be able to get your hands on a piece of square burlap, but you will be able to get like a plastic tarp, a nylon tarp, something like that. And what we're going to do is slide this under the tree, pick it up, and just set it in the hole. So Dustin's going to give me a hand here. I take this thing and wrap it around my hand once or twice to shorten it up. Once or twice. Okay, and then we just lift it straight up, and we're going to set it right in there, and then we're going to tip it back and get the burlap out. Just like that. And then by rocking it back and forth a little bit, you can get it in pretty much in the center of the hole where you want it. Now when you're planting a tree like this, what's really important is the grade. This is the grade that I want where my garden is going to be. So I want that tree about an inch and a half higher than this grade, and then I'm going to backfill all the way around it. This is really sandy soil. Those of you who have really poor soil are going to be envious of this stuff. This is where I'm starting my new nursery. You can see the brush behind us. We've been clearing ground here. So in this sandy soil, we're going to backfill all the way around that. I don't use peat moss and all kinds of things to amend the soil. I've never done that. I've landscaped over 500 homes, and the only thing I've ever put around the root ball of a tree is topsoil. In this particular case, I'm just going to use the regular soil that's here. Now, if you have real heavy clay soil, you got to raise this tree up. You can't plant it this deep. You really want to raise it up another couple inches and then build a mound up around to it. And then when you backfill, you actually want to backfill with the poor soil that you have. I know that sounds crazy, but you don't want to put any kind of a real loose sandy soil like this in that hole, because that just creates a bathtub where the water, when it rains, can run in there, but in that clay soil it's not going to drain away. So it's called a bathtub effect. So when you want the bottom part of this, we're going to raise this tree up and show you about how high to plant it when you're if you're in poor soil. And I'll show you a relatively easy way to raise the tree. Dustin will give me a hand with that here in a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to tip the tree, put some soil underneath of it, and then tip it back the other way. So if you happen to dig your hole too deep, you don't really have to lift the tree back out of the hole. Okay, let's try that. Rock it back and forth a little bit. All right. That's pretty good. So basically, in just a couple of minutes, we raised this tree. You can see that I raised it considerably. If you're in real heavy soil, you may want to make it higher than that. And then you want to build a nice bed around it, so that in your yard you've got grass and then a bed and then your tree. Same with all your landscaping. If you're in really poor soil, don't try and amend the soil. Don't try and dig out soil and add soil. Just build on top of what you have. Your plants will do much better. So basically that's tree planting 101. Now I'm going to cut these ropes. This is important. You really want to look to make sure that there are no hidden ropes. Sometimes when trees are in the nursery too long, the bottom rots out and they actually re-burlap them. And underneath of the first layer of burlap, there may be some nylon strings or something that you need to know about. So now I'm right down to the tree. I'm going to cut. I really want to cut this. I don't have to, but I'm going to, just to make sure that everything around the trunk of the tree is nice and loose. So that's how, now when I plant this, and again, like I said, in heavy soil, I want to use the heavy soil that I dug the hole with and put it back around there so that no water gets in and creates that bathtub effect. Now, if anybody can guess and tell me the exact variety of this particular tree, I'm going to give you a free copy of my book, Easy Plant Propagation. And I'm supposed to be holding up a copy of the book right now, but we forgot to bring it. So pretend I got a book in my hand, and if you can correctly name the variety of this tree, I'll give you a free copy of my plant propagation book, Easy Plant Propagation. Don't email us because I'm not going to see those emails. Post your answer to the on the blog at mikesbackyardnursery.com. That's where you'll see this video. So right below the video down there, there's going to be a place for you to enter a comment. If you can guess the exact variety, then you get a free copy of the book. Only one person, the first person to guess, and put it on the blog so we know who entered their answer first. All right, I think we covered it. As far as fertilizer is concerned, you know, you can use tree spikes or something, but don't put garden fertilizer on any of your landscape plants because garden fertilizer releases way too quickly, and the nitrogen will just burn things up. So, you know, fertilizer is not the magic potion that everybody thinks it is. The magic potion is good soil, good rich topsoil. So if you don't have good soil, plant high like this and then build up around it with good rich soil. So I'm Mike McGroarty from freeplants.com. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.